in there so that you can check us out on SoundCloud. Eventually, you'll actually be able to pull down the podcasts and take them with you. But right now, we're on SoundCloud, and you can listen to them there.
SoundCloud.com/Mixified.
Exactly. Wow. Todd is the director of social media when it comes to Around Midnight.
Yeah, he is. Duh. It's his job.
I know, that's true. That is his job with Around Midnight. He's the director of social media.
Better
again,
get it right.
if you want to hit us up, you can check us out at Mixified.com and click on Around Midnight. There are all the links there, or you can just shoot us a line. Well, shoot at Chevelle. I haven't used that one in a while. You can get him at Chevelle Divine, at Todd Fluker, and at Joe Carbonetta. And so, CJ, I could not resist the temptation to bring this up this evening because you predicted this at some point, although there is controversy swirling around this already. But you had said on a show probably a month or two back that it was only a matter of time before women started getting accused under the Me Too movement as well. You do recall that, right?
Yes, I do.
All right, so California Assemblywoman Cristina Garcia is now being accused of groping male staffers. At least two have come forward. Actually, one says he was groped. The other one says that she made sexually suggestive remarks toward him.
Yeah.
And as a result of this, she's actually now stepping down.
Wow.
And she has actually said that any allegation of the sort, she denies this, by the way. She says she has no recollection of any of this.
Stepping down?
And well, I guess in the interest of fairness,
she has. That's not in the interest
she
of
has
fairness,
no recollection of any of this happening.
Getting herself scrutinized.
She has said that this should be fully checked out, fully investigated, and she's stepping aside from some of her political duties during this investigation. Now, I'm probably going to take some heat from this, but I'm calling BS on this one right here. I am. I seriously am.
Why?
Two reasons. Number one, I question the timing of this. She was actually up for a speaker's position, and being a Democrat, it seems.
And we're talking about state assembly, right?
Yeah, it seems very, very convenient that at the time that she's up for this kind of position, that suddenly these people are coming out of the woodwork. Because, by the way, these alleged events did not happen yesterday. They took place 1 to 2 years ago. All right? That's number one. Number two, and here's the real reason I'm calling BS on this, all right? No normal guy is ever going to scream sexual harassment if some girl comes up and grabs him and says...
Grabs him in the biscuits?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say that, and then I said, nah, I'm not going to say that because I kept saying the big T thing, but...
Give him a little slap and tickle?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seriously, no guy complains about that kind of thing at all.
Yeah, that would just be, a good day.
It's not as though she's it's not like she's some horribly tragic-looking figure. She's not a half-bad-looking woman. No normal guy's going to say...
I'm sure she'll be glad to hear that. Yeah, you don't look half bad.
What I'm getting at
You're
is...
not a horrible monster.
What I'm saying is if and again, all right, I'm speaking in generalisms because of the male species, all right? If she looked like Medusa, okay, somebody might say, I really didn't want to be touched. But most guys, if short of that, most guys are not going to complain.
Yeah, I mean, that's why paper bags exist, right? Yep. Yep.
What the hell are you talking about?
Okay, so number one, that type of conduct should never be tolerated under any circumstances ever.
Okay, that was the PC.
Having said that.
All right.
I don't know. It could be legitimate.
All right.
It could be legitimate.
Quick survey around this table right now. Have everybody called up the image of this woman on the screen? By the way.
Oh yeah. Let me just get up.
Yeah. I want you guys all to do.
What's her name?
Look this up. Cristina Garcia.
She's local, isn't she?
She's the California Assemblywoman.
From where though? What district?
Sacramento.
Okay. Because I know I've heard her name, and it's probably because she was supposed to be up for speaker.
Yeah.
I know I've heard her name in the sphere. There's just so much dirt in politics in general, I'm not surprised at all.
Put this up on the screen.
Are you're putting it up there for everybody?
Nice shot of her.
And yet
her official.
you still can't see it because you didn't bring that monitor. That monitor that's supposed to go up there on the wall. No, yeah.
It's a headshot from
You
Wikipedia.
had said you wanted to fly a monitor up here for everybody.
Well, you need a
to
mount.
use it.
I don't have a mount.
I mean, she's got a little bit of snaggletooth going on there.
Okay.
First off, there is some man somewhere. There are most men, most places that are going to be all right with it.
That's okay. See, that was my poll around the table.
But
right
that doesn't
now.
mean that every man is, because then you also have to consider that some men just aren't into women. So if you're one of those men, and she's coming on to you, it's going to be pretty awkward. It's going to be really awkward. Or if you're married and you actually love your wife, it's going to be really awkward. Or if you're in another relationship,
right. Yes, I can
and you're
see
really
that.
attached to this person.
Clearly, that would create a problem.
Yeah.
Would a guy still run around going, "Oh, sexual harassment"? I don't think so.
Hey, if there's some fiscal remuneration involved, heck yeah, they'll do it. If it means they're going to promote
Everybody's
their own
looking
career.
for a chance to fill your pockets at this point.
Okay, so
And Kelly's jumping in on the YouTube chat. She says, "Oh, you guys talking about Mariah?
what?
That was Mariah Carey. Remember she
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
also getting
Oh,
Yeah, they said the
accused
same
by
about
That's
her,
right.
and
She-
Paula
by her
Abdul was supposed to
security
be
guards.
notorious for that. Paula Abdul, in fact, that was one of the things with her on American Idol she's not on it anymore, right?
Oh no, hasn't been in some time.
Because I think it was because her and one of the contestants and other people, she's kind of been known for being a predator.
Really?
being a little handsy.
Boy, I guess I've been living under a rock because I missed that one.
Yeah.
And that's what also I'm thinking, like, hey, these are women that people, aspire to be with.
Yeah.
These are women people fantasize about being with.
Yes. Okay, but see, in the case of Mariah Carey and perhaps to a slightly lesser extent, Paula Abdul, there could conceivably be a significant payday attached to a successful claim.
Yeah, got to get that control money.
So again, I sit there and say,
Control.
That's Janet
I
Jackson,
call
bro.
into question the legitimacy of these complaints.
Is he really dancing over here?
No, that's not dancing. I think he's having a seizure. I call into question the legitimacy of these complaints because, in general, men do not scream sexual harassment.
But there's always the extenuating circumstance, there's.
Now,
I
as a
don't know.
perfect example is 9 out of 10 times, okay, when you hear one of those situations where a teacher has been inappropriate with a student.
It's because they went the full 9 and the kid went and probably off the husband or something like that.
Yeah, okay. No,
They
but
went- they
I'm
didn't-
talking about,
they
I'm
didn't go
talking
the
about
full
in a
9, they went the
situation.
full 100.
I'm talking about a situation where it's a female teacher and a
Yeah, I
male
know,
student.
that's what I'm talking about.
So, yeah. So how many
They
times?
scored several touchdowns. They're in the home season, and it's like, oh, you have a husband? Oh.
Exactly. When do you ever hear about the boy child screaming sexual harassment? What was that one case with that boy who ultimately, even though she was imprisoned, they got married.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah,
still
yeah.
married. They have
That was
kids.
one of the
whole-
first ones that
yeah.
came out.
I mean, guys don't generally scream sexual harassment. It's just not what comes to our head.
We're just grateful. Grateful for the attention.
There you go.
Any kind of attention, really.
So that's why I'm saying
But
I'm
the
calling
other
BS
thing, though,
on this.
The other thing, though, this is indicative of the so-called enlightened and socially aware person. Because we are in an age now where the Neanderthal male is becoming a thing of the past. They've been relegated to the Republican Party, apparently.
But that's the problem with the whole thing is
And-
that people are offended on other people's behalf. And that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happens
yeah.
when these kids are boning their students is some bystander.
Sorry, what did you just say?
When the
I
kids
mean,
are
when
boning,
the
the teachers are boning.
Teachers
the
are boning, yeah, students, whatever. Somebody's boning somebody in the school. And, yeah, it's always some bystander, some do-gooder, some social justice warrior that hears about
Or some
it.
nerd who wasn't getting the action.
Because, yeah, because that kid is doing nothing but high-fiving and telling anyone who will listen.
That's what happens. That's how the sexual harassment situation ends up getting called out when it's a boy who's the harassee. Is that he's going around going, "Hey, high fives, man! I just got some," and that's
But then
that's
there's
how he
also
gets
another way to
busted.
look at
Yeah.
it because if you look at this in the terms of predatory behavior, where you're going after the weaker males, if you're going after the alpha's going to take that all day long. But if you're going after the weaker ones, and these are the ones who are being conditioned to be sensitive and all this other stuff, and they are feeling even more emasculated because you're doing this, and they're in another relationship,
Okay, again,
or they
I'm calling
are,
BS because when does a guy feel emasculated when a woman comes up and says, "You know what? I really like your package."
I think it depends on where you are in the generations, because there is a generation, there's a bridge between the Neanderthal male and the new enlightened male.
Did he just
the metro males? There's a bridge between those two, and the people that are on that bridge, they're still dealing with, is this appropriate? I gotta say, I mean, I'm well past my youth, and there are things that I know I should not do and should not say, but I'm too old to care. But I can see why it makes a difference. And
what is he talking about? Where,
Well, no, it's like
where are
if
you
you-
going with this?
if you look for an, okay, let's look at it this way. Let's
Okay.
look at your children. If you look at the school environment they're being raised in versus the school environment you were being raised in, it is a totally different environment.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. You know, now if the stuff that we used to do on the schoolyard, you know, like if you pull another little girl's
That's
hair or
bullying,
something like
and
that,
you're
yeah,
expelled from class.
exactly. Now you're looking for a new school. Back when we were kids, it was like, oh, kids will just be kids. And,
Yeah,
you know,
so
that was
basically
it.
what I'm saying is men now are little punks. That's what I'm getting at. I was trying not to say it like that, but these men are a bunch of little punks, and they can't handle the pressure.
Like what I'm
because
saying
they've been
in the end-
I'm saying they've been getting beat over the head with, oh, you've got to be kind to women, you've got to be gentle with women, and women are your equals and whatnot.
Are
and,
you
and
saying,
then they're saying, wait a minute, if she's my equal, why is she coming at me like this? And they're like, I feel victimized.
so are
Boo-hoo.
you saying that this guy that is complaining about the assemblywoman is just a punk?
No, I'm saying that kind of behavior should never be tolerated under any circumstances at any time.
I don't like it. It hurts.
Mary Kay Letourneau?
That's the one. That's the one right
Yeah,
there.
she was-
Thomas is chiming in on the YouTube chat. He says that's her. And yeah, I got a shot of her here on the browser. Let's just peep this out. You know, she's a bit of all right.
Serious, especially back in the day when the offenses took place. Yeah, I can see how he was like, oh yeah, man, this is some good stuff right here.
Yeah, kind of nice.
Well, I mean, but
nice
you have
blonde lady
there's
showing
an
you some
entire
attention.
social backdrop to all of this stuff. And nowadays, we're in an environment where no matter what you do, you're pissing somebody off.
Well, that's true, but that,
And
well,
we're in
no,
California.
the thing is, that was always the case. No matter what you do, you're going to make somebody bad. But now
Yeah,
that's
but
somebody's
before-
likely to go and call a press conference and get Gloria Allred involved.
Yeah, but and before it was like, you know, you let it roll off your back and you push on. But now it's like, no, I'm not pushing on, I'm pushing back.
And I want to state
With
for the
a
record,
lawyer.
I want to state for the record that all of the women that have come out and complained about the sexual harassment, I believe every one of those claims is legitimate.
I don't.
The only ones
I
I
do
que-
not
well,
believe
okay,
that.
maybe there's one or two that aren't because they're looking
Maybe
for
there's
a payday
1 or 2
too.
billion that aren't.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well,
Let's keep it 100.
I'm more inclined to believe a woman when she claims sexual harassment than a man who
I'm
claims
not
sexual
so
harassment.
sure.
I am totally more inclined to
But
believe
I
a
will
woman
say
than a man.
that, well, that might be an example of your gender bias.
Yeah,
I
and they
know
say there
men.
is-
We don't feel harassed.
But yes, there is a
No.
difference when, yeah, and Kelly's chiming in on the YouTube chat as well, saying that the teachers are in a power situation
Yeah,
where
it's
they
about
have the
abuse of
power over a
authority.
person, and the person is a minor, so they technically can't legally give consent. So it's statutory rape.
I'm not arguing the legal aspect of this. I'm simply saying that kid didn't feel sexually harassed.
Look, man, I mean, but I would really like to know more about who this man is, because I could definitely see if this is a person who is in a relationship or is homosexual, not wanting to have that kind of thing. Or if it's just a person who has a little bit of self-esteem and they're like, back off, lady.
And yeah, I'm looking at the Letourneau case. The kid was 12.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty young.
Oh, are you? Well, okay. Again, I am not questioning the legal aspect of this, and that the reason that she was tried and convicted and incarcerated. That's not up for debate.
But
I'm simply
but even
saying,
if you
at
erase
12
the
years
whole
old,
legal
this
side
kid
of
was
it.
thinking with his other head, and he wasn't feeling harassed.
Okay, granted, but there's like the whole Patty Hearst effect. What's the name of that conditioning thing?
Oh,
Munchausen syndrome.
Munchausen.
Is that what
yeah.
it is?
No, that's not it.
No, that's
not it.
Munchausen.
Munchausen is when you injure people.
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
That's what it's. Stockholm
exactly.
syndrome.
It's one of those foreign names.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, if you do this stuff enough and they don't know any better, it becomes the norm. And I think there's a lot more research that needs to be done in that, but I don't want to even get into that conversation. That one's bound to start some fires. My point being,
I think we pretty much sailed that ship already. I'm not sure what you're shrinking away from at this point.
Everything's on fire already.
Exactly. We're walking around with a blowtorch or a flamethrower, just setting ablaze everything in sight.
well,
But
it's
he's
like,
whoa,
it's
whoa,
like
whoa,
I
let's
said a
not
month
burn
ago.
that thing
It
over
was
there.
only a matter of time.
Hold
And I'm
on.
telling you what the next shoe to drop is going to be, and I mentioned this before. It's going to be
Wait,
women.
wait. Before you do that. Okay, what is it?
The next one is going to be women hitting on women. That's going to be the next big one.
So you're saying that you'll have women claiming sexual harassment
By
against
women.
other women.
And the only thing that would prevent that is the uber feminist movement that we are living through right now.
We're just using up every sound effect in the book tonight.